This video is going to help go over 8.5 Reteach. So if you have been assigned the Reteach in Ed, or you are just needing extra help trying to identify if the expressions are equivalent, then be sure to watch this video and review those properties that we discussed yesterday. So to review, we want to make equivalent expressions or determine if the expressions are equivalent. So there are a few properties that we can use to rearrange expressions. So we can commute the addition, so just change the order of addition. 6 plus 8 is 14, and 8 plus 6 is 14. They equal the same thing no matter which one comes first. We can do that same thing to multiplication. 6 times 8 is 48, and 8 times 6 is also 48. So when we multiply or add, it doesn't matter which one comes first. Then when we add, we can also choose to associate numbers together first. So on this one, it says to do 6 and 8 first, which is 14, plus 4 more is 18. And in this one, it just associated different numbers together first. So it said 4 plus 6 first is 10, plus 8 is 18. So either way, when we only have adding, we can move those parentheses and come up with the same answer. That same rule works here on multiplication. We can move our parentheses around when it's only multiplication and get the same answer. So here we have 5 times 4 is 20. And we're going to times that by 7, comes up with 140. If I do 4 times 7 first, that's 28. And if I times that by 5, that's also 140. So these commutative properties just change the order. You're commuting back and forth, and it's the same distance. These associative properties associate and group different numbers together first. That only works when we're multiplying or adding. We also have this distributive property here. And there's two ways that the distributive property can work. The first is that it can give that number out. So it can distribute the 8 to the 5. It can distribute the 8 to the 3. And remember, this is multiplication. So here we have 8 times 5 plus 8 times 3. And then I can go backwards and say, what do these have in common? Well, they both have an 8. So I can give the 8 to the outside, and I'm left with 5 plus 3. So the distributive property, you're either giving or pulling something out. You're making those parentheses if you need to. And then another thing, it's not a property, but it is something you can do, is to combine like terms here. So let's take a look at these expressions. So we have 4b plus 2a plus 3a plus 6b. And we want to compare that to 5 groups of a plus 2b. So first, I can't add a's and b's together. They're not similar. But I can rearrange them so my a's and my b's are together. So I can first use that commutative property to put all my a's together. So I can commute 2 a's and put my 3 a's together. And then I can put my b's together, 4 b's plus 6 b's. So now I put my a's together and my b's together using the commutative property. So I just rearranged. It's still all the same things, 2 a's, 3 a's, 4 b's, 6 b's. Same problem, just rearranged. So now there's a lot of different things that we can do here. So first, let's go ahead and use our distributive property to pull some things out. So I can pull out an A here, and I'm left with 2 plus 3. Plus, I can pull out the B from here, and I'm left with 4 plus 6. So we've got 5 groups of A and 2 B's here. So right now we have 2 groups of A plus 3. So we're going to combine. So after we've used our distributive property, so we're going to combine the things in the parentheses. So here we have A5 plus B10. So I used my combining powers to add together the numbers. But remember, we want to use our commutative property again of multiplication this time to flip it around and make the number go in the front. So now I want 5 groups of A plus 10 groups of B. Okay, so can we keep going? So I can't just add these together because they are not the same variable. But I can see using the distributive property again, I can see that 5 and 10 have something in common. Can you think of what 5 and 10 have in common? So 5 and 10 both have a factor of 5 I can pull out. So what's left here is A. How do I get from 5 to 10? Well, that's timesing by 2. So I still have to put this plus sign here, but 5 times 2 would be 10. And then there's my B, 5A plus 2B. So I know that's a lot of work to get there, but it shows me that they're equivalent because I don't know what A and B are. I can't just plug them in, but through rewriting them, I can see that this can, using my rules, turn into this. So we can't just do what we want and say, yes, it's equal. We've got to follow our rules. And so you can look at it and say, is there a rule I can use? And there's lots of different ways we could have got to this same answer. So let's try another one here. So we have 6x plus 10y's plus 2x's minus 4y's. So first we want to rearrange to get our similar variables together. So that is using the commutative property. We're going to change it around and put your x's together and your y's together. So we have 6x plus 2x plus 10y's minus 4y's. Hey, I'm going to combine like terms now. So 6x's plus 2x's is 8x plus 10y's minus 4y's is 6y's. So now I can't combine x and y's together, but I can use the distributive property. And can you see something that 8 and 6, a factor they have in common, something that goes into 8 and 6. So 2 goes into 8 and 6. So I can pull out the 2. So 2 times what is 8? That's 4. And I still have the x there because I didn't take it out. Plus, how do I get 2 times what is 6? Well, that's 3 groups of y. So I can use the commutative property. I can combine and then use the distributive property. And I can see that, yes, these are equivalent. So you will have ones that are not equivalent, and you've got to decide, is there more you can do to this? So this one, I could give these back, but I would just end up here again. If I gave the 2 and gave the 2, because I can't combine x and y's because they're not the same. Hey, so if I know that this is new and there's something I still have to think about as well, and that's okay, guys. We are still learning and you're going to keep practicing this. So if you need more help, let me know. Be sure to watch all of the videos and see what you can do with those. And if that still is confusing, let me know and we can set up a time to meet.